Here's Bellamy, close to the
Number 5. Of 12 yards, first down.
So 1st and 10, Tony. Good offensive play right there.
And that's their game plan. They want to spread you out and be able to gas you up through the middle.
Short throw right side, and it is incomplete.
And if you're watching that, as you said, receivers running in routes, both of them running in and dig routes on the back end.
Tedrick Moffitt with the incomplete pass. Will be 2nd and 10 at the Ely 32. Another shotgun set. 2 wide receivers to the right. 2 to his left.
Captain, I'm looking for this to somehow this get in the hands of Gaddis. You can tell they're anxious to try to get it out, get him. Oh,
little motion. It's a read option. We got a fumble.
On the ball.
Looks like Deerfield
Moffitt.
The fumble. That was number 44. With
The turnover, the second of the evening.
Jimmy Harper.
And Deerfield Beach will take over inside the 30-yard line. It was a read option play, and Deerfield Beach defensive front stayed home, and they were able to strip the football.
And that's when it comes to their defense. The front end of their defense is the key to them holding offenses off. That front end.
Grace ducks under center. He's going to throw it deep down the left sideline, and it is incomplete.
Oh, goes up for a grab, but it gets tipped away. Good defensive play by the corner.
Nice throw. Receiver had it in his hands, but a good play by the defensive backfield of Ely. So it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And as you see, Captain, Cortez is really not their starting quarterback. He's their backup quarterback. He normally plays linebacker, some linebacker for him, but you can see they needed him on the offense, and he's coming through for them.
Coming in 5-7 for 141 yards and a touchdown. They keep it on the ground, and it gains about 6-yard line, 6 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd, about, call it 5. Grace under center, 2 wide receivers to his right. Ferris is the lone back. They give it to Kobe Farish, and Ely with some good defense. Maybe got a yard, so it'll be about 4th and 4. And we'll see what the Bucks do here, leading 7-0, 7:40 to go first quarter. Looks like they're going to trot out Sosa. Jefferson Sosa, number 23, the junior. Mentioned he was out here very early, Tony. We got here around 5 o'clock, and he was out here. Snap is down, kick is up. And it is no good. Had the distance, but just pushed it a little bit right. So Ely will take over. So Deerfield unable to do anything after the fumble.
And with that field position, Coach Lewis, I'm quite sure, is probably calling his troops over and letting them know that, you know, as the offensive coordinator, we got to come away with some points once we get down in that area to offset this spread offense, because that spread offense can strike at any point.
Ely in District 14-7A, expected to win the division. Boyd Anderson, Fort Lauderdale, and Northeast. The other schools, Ely bumped up after a long stay. Was it 5A?
5A.
Where they had their way for the most part the last decade or so. A shotgun set for the Tigers. 4 wide receivers. They keep it on the ground, and it's a good run up the middle. First down yardage and more.
I was running inside the middle. I was number 33.
23, Robert Williams with the carry. He gets about 19 yards, and 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And Cap, you're going to see a slew of running backs on both sides of the ball carrying. In this day and age, and I say this is a dinosaur age when it comes to running backs, you can look at the way the NFL going, and running backs are not that important. Mm-hmm. If you watch Minnesota last week, put a receiver in the backfield and took advantage of it. So running backs
Cordell
right
Patterson,
now, it's a dinosaur age for us.
All right, another shotgun set. 4 wide receivers. He's going to throw it down the right sideline, and it is incomplete.
Throws down the sideline.
The 25-yard line.
Defensive.
Moffitt was going deep and unable to connect. Good defensive play by Deerfield.
Defensive play by the backfield.
They're trying to get it in their playmaker hand. As I told you, number 4, Thomas Geddes is the playmaker for him right now.
Deerfield secondary. James Pierre, Simeon Brown are the safeties. Both go over 6 feet. Press corners are Ryan Powell and Ashton McNeil. Williams with the carry for Ely on 2nd and 10. He gets 11, and it's a first down, and all of a sudden Ely is in Deerfield Beach territory. Ely's got something going here with Robert Williams.
But that's why I told you, the way they run that spread, they spread you out and they gash the middle. That's why when we was down Deerfield, had opportunity. You gotta score because this offense can strike at any point. It can strike.
Got the mandatory water break here midway through the first quarter, and Ely is in Bucks territory. 7-0, 6:28 to go. Deerfield over Ely. Curtis Stevenson alongside Tony Sands. Beautiful night for football as the sun is about to set. Lights are on here at Butler Stadium. Special night here. Dedication ceremony earlier. The McDougal brothers are in the house. Stockel and Jerome.
And Cap, when you talk about, and we talk about those guys, but when you talk about these two teams, if you think about the number of guys that have went on to the college rank and went on to the NFL, at one point, Ely High School was number 1 for having more guys in the NFL than any other school in the country. And now you can see St. Thomas have taken on that rank. So it lets you know here in Broward County just what type of talent Broward County high schools can put out.
St. Thomas tonight in New Jersey.
Yes.
A big nationally televised game, taking on Don Bosco. All right, we're set for action as Ely will have it 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line of Deerfield Beach. Moffitt in the shotgun. Snap is a little bit to his right. He handles it, fires right side, and is incomplete. Moffitt rolled to his right, tried to hit a receiver short side, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And contrasting styles here, Tony. You look at what Deerfield wants to do under center.
Exactly.
Run the football, maybe take their shots off of play action. And Ely, like you said earlier, really wants to spread you out and find those lanes here.
They want to get their backs in the lanes and take advantage of what Deerfield is getting. The rush-ins are coming up, so they want to be able to gash right up under those rush-ins.
3 wide receiver to your left to give us to Williams up the middle. He bounces out, picks up about 7 yards. So Robert Williams looking really good here, approaching 30 yards, I'd imagine, on 4 carries. So Robert Williams sets Ely up at 3rd and 5 here at the 41-yard line.
3rd down and 5 to go.
We'll see as this game progresses here if Moffitt is under center at least one time.
Captain, in the time I've watched him, I very rarely see him come from up under center. Everything is in shotgun.
Moffitt will roll left, scrambles. Got some running room. Tries to slide. He's taken down.
The ball pops.
At the 35-yard line. That was a run of about 5 yards, and Moffitt gets up, and he's got a first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
The defensive coach, Coach Lewis, he's got to come up with something to slow this running attack down of Ely, because you can see it's not the passing attack that is continuing their drives. It is the running attack. So he's got to come up with some type of scheme to slow this running attack down, and I'm quite sure that's what Ely wants. As soon as he switches, Ely's going to try to go over the top of it.
2 wide receivers, short side left, 2 to his right. Williams in the backfield to his right. To give us to Williams up the middle, and gets tackled after about 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8 here. Under 5 minutes to go, 7-0 Deerfield.
Shout out to them all.
I'm going to tell you that, Captain, they're making a switch. They're putting in Bowling Ball. And they're going to put him on defense because he can play linebacker and he can move around a lot quicker, so they're going to probably want to mirror him against Ely's running attack.
It's number 5, Alex Pierre. Also plays running back for the Bucks. 2nd and 8. Receiver comes in motion, and Moffitt's going to throw it. Looks down the field, got a receiver, and it is.
Wide open over the middle.
Receiver, they call it a catch. Took a while for the umpire to make the call, but Rashawn Davis was the receiver, number 86. He's going to be just short of the first down, so it'll be 3rd and 1 at the 26-yard line for the Ely Tigers. 3rd and 1. Moffitt will give to Williams up the middle. He's got first down yardage and more. Inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. It's knocked down at the 14-yard line. So, Tony, it looks like to me the same type of play that Ely's running. Just a basic handoff to Williams up the middle. And
it's just pretty much in that cabinet. It's big on big. Your defensive line against my offensive line, and we're going to see who creates the mix match. And right now, Ely's offensive line is pretty much winning the battle, the line of scrimmage right at this point.
Deerfield without one of the best players in the state, Jason Strobridge, the defensive end, sitting out with an ankle injury.
Now, this is Forrest, and that's what they're waiting when it comes to power. That's Mr. Forrest. Arthur Forrest can play. He's low center of gravity, low impact. Had the opportunity to train this kid here this summer, and I'm going to tell you, he's explosive.
Arthur Forrest picks up 9 on that play, and it's 2nd and 1 for Ely. So they mix it up a little bit. We have a timeout, Deerfield Beach, with 3:09 to go first quarter. So Deerfield wants to go for some defensive schemes, I'd imagine, and try to figure out this Ely rushing attack.
Because he got to go into his defensive playbook and figure out how to stop this running attack. And they're giving them multiple different looks when it comes to the running backs. They're putting in a fresh back every time. Like I say, I can see Forrest is coming out like he's going to come back out. Cap, he can carry some people on his back. He's real strong. They say he benches over 350 pounds and he squats over 450.
You mentioned Strobridge, 6'4", 250, one of the top defensive linemen in the state. He's out with an ankle injury. We saw him earlier, Tony. Came out, tried to test it a little bit, and I think they decided let's wait another week or so.
And talking to Coach Jackson, the main thing he was saying with Strobridge, Cap, he want to hold Strobridge out for district play. He want to make sure that Strobridge is ready for district play. This game here has, when it comes to outside of bragging rights here in the community, has no other meaning for Deerfield or Ely.
So it'll be 2nd and 1. Ball is at the 6-yard line, and Moffitt's going to roll, pump fake, sprints left, cuts it inside, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a half a yard or so. See where they spot it. Might be good enough for a first down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and about a half a yard.
Cap, you got your wish. You got your wish.
He's under center.
Power
formation.
And I'm going to tell you something. They gave it to the big fella.
And he gets the first.
He gets the first. He gets the first down. He gets the first down.
So
Forrest is, like I say, Forrest is a guy when they want those short yardage. He reminds me of a guy that went to Ely that became a short yardage specialist in the NFL, and that's Zach Crockett. He's built pretty much the same way as Zach Crockett, built like Tyrone Moss.
They're
used to those type of backs.
All right, so 1st and goal inside the 5 for Ely. Moffitt the give up the middle. Robert Williams, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Ely. That was very easy. Good push by Ely.
Cabinet, when you look at that, that was pretty much your defensive line against my offensive line, and it's a battle of the trenches. And in that battle there, Ely clearly won that battle up front. Deerfield's defensive line they got to stay in there and they got to get a little stout in order to stop this attack.
We got flags on the extra point attempt. Carmele Charté is going to attempt the extra point. See what the penalty is. Ely lined up in a wrong set, so they'll bump them back. See if they can tie it up here with 2:20 to go in the first quarter. Snap. Kick is away, and it is no good.
Extra point is no good.
So Deerfield continues to lead 7-6. And good drive by Ely, Tony. They needed that, certainly after a couple of early turnovers and some mistakes, and they spread them out most of the way down the field, kept it on the ground, but when they got down inside, they went to the power running game, and it worked.
Quarterback went up on the center, smashed by football. That's what they used to live and die by. That's what won a state championship for Ely. Like I told you when we brought up the name of Tyrone Moss, and that's what that backfield set looked like. It looked like the days of Tyrone Moss when Coach Steve Davis was there at Ely High School.
So 7-6 Deerfield with 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. So Ely will kick off.
Everything we
Sun is almost officially done for this Friday in September. Pompano Beach Ely looking for their first win on the season. Deerfield at 1-1, lost last week to Dillard 25-9. They shut out Northeast in their opener 55-0. Not a district game, but a lot on the line.
Community bragging rights are on the line, Captain. In this instance, that is powerful when you talk about these two cities that are neighboring cities.
Kick is away, and we'll see if it's returnable, as Antonio Cartagena will take it 2 yards deep and decide we'd rather take it at the 20-yard line. So the Bucks offense trots out, up by 1.
And with the type of offense that Coach Lewis runs, is not an offense that is able to really, you want to get behind early. And that's why he's got to stay on the cutting edge. He's got to stay sustaining drives. Deerfield, he got to, because, like I said, now it changes your game plan. It changes your game plan. He has to come out his wing T and center his tight ends, and he loves the tight end now. You wait to see that tight end is going to release at some point, and it's going to make a big play.
The Sharman Gibbons.
We got offsides on Ely.
We have offsides on Blanche Ely.
So it'll make it a little easier for Deerfield.
1st and 5.
1st and 5 for the Bucks. Big offensive line for Deerfield Beach. 4 of the 5 are over 250 pounds. And big 79 Montel Jordan, he is heavily recruited in these parts. Toss sweep. And
sweep to the outside.
just run out of bounds.
Picked up the 4th down and some more.
It was Giovante Evans who gets the first down.
Now
And Deerfield will have it 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
the backfield that they have in there now, Captain, both these guys are sophomores. And they remind me a lot of Brandon Powell and McNeil last year.
Very shifty. Change of direction quickly. Grace under center gives it to Evans. Runs left side. Plays blown dead with flags on the field.
Approachment against Blanche Ely.
We have offsides against Ely.
5 yards.
So
We have
that's
some
their
more
4th
shout-outs.
encroachment penalty for Ely here.
You're making it easy. You helping them drive. You're helping them drive down the field. You can't continue to give them 1st and 5.
Grace
Number 79.
Grace went to the sidelines, get some instructions from Alan Jackson. It's in his 4th year. They were 11-1 last year, was Deerfield Beach. 1st and 5, they give it. Giovante Evans, left side, carrying a tackler, picks up about 3 yards.
You got to figure, Captain, 3 years ago, this young man was winning a South Florida Little League Super Bowl. And he was one of the dominating young running backs at the youth level. Now he had an opportunity to come here and play for Deerfield, and has won an opportunity to play here early.
So it'll be 2nd and about 2. Welcome, everybody listening and watching on the South Florida Sports Network. Tonight's game presented by Audible Sports. 2nd and 2. They give the handoff right side. Deerfield gets a good push, 1st down yardage, and a bit more up to the 45-yard line. As we're under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Mr. Allen Capman have to come out because his helmet, he's running so hard that his helmet came off. And, you know, here in high school football in South Florida, if the helmet comes off, you got to come out of play.
Alton Allen retreats to the sidelines, 5'8", 155, sophomore.
Picks up the first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Bucks 45-yard line, leading 7-6. Grace under center. 2 wide receivers to his right. Now one comes in motion. That'll be Alex Pierre. And we have movement up front. Looks like
Moving on the line.
Deerfield was a little jumpy, and they were. So they'll push them back.
5 yards.
What you'd expect
Another shout out
early
to the Mean Girls from
in
Canada.
September,
Shout out
Tony.
to the
I mean,
Mean
this
Girls.
is Deerfield's 3rd game. I think they'd be a little bit more polished. Ely's only their 2nd game.
Wilton and Mommy.
And then this is a rivalry game, so that makes it even more exciting. Then with the ceremony and the crowd that is here, Captain, both of these teams have to come out in the second half and settle down and get their game plan going.
Well, we got another flag here.
Like it might be a sideline warning on this one, Captain. Sideline warning.
All right, they're asking Deerfield to push them back a little bit here. As
Here's the good sideline warning.
so we'll take notice of that as we are on the Deerfield side, south side here at Butler Stadium. So 1st and 15 at the 40 for Deerfield. Grace gives it backfield. Good pursuit by Ely, and barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, to Markel, young. Deerfield is young. They're very young, and if they can sustain and continue and win some ball games. And next year is probably more or less going to be the year that they really gel together.
Placing a lot of talent on offense. Markel Yarborough with the carry there. And it's a beautiful night, but it's a muggy night here, as that'll take us to the end of the first quarter.
Right at the end of the first quarter.
So Deerfield
7, Blanche Ely
leads Blanche Ely 7-6. And mentioned it's a muggy night here,
That
Tony.
is, that
It's
is.
September in South Florida, and
Just a reminder,
I think coaches trying to rotate a lot of players, especially in the backfield. That's what Blanche Ely wants to do originally, but we've seen Deerfield Beach with a multiple sets in the backfield.
At one point last week, Deerfield Beach rotated 8 different running backs. 8 different running backs in the backfield. And you got to figure now, I'm going to tell you, Coach Lewis has coached some heck of an offense that have put up, in the top 3 every year that he's been a coach. When he was at Monarch, he had a running back at that time, Deshaun Sanders, that led the county in rushing. The following year, he was 2nd runner-up. When he came to Deerfield, he had Brandon Powell. So when you can have the luxury of those type of backs and your offense put up those type of numbers, a lot of running backs like to come in and play for a guy like that.
Let's acknowledge our officials this evening. Roy Getzoff is our referee. Darrell Williams is our umpire. Ben Walker is our linesman. Larry Rodriguez is our line judge. Scott Singer is the back judge. And Joe Curtis is to my right, running the operation here in the press box at Butler Stadium. We're getting ready for second quarter to get underway. 2nd and 6 as we switch sides. Deerfield going right to left. And it's 2nd and 15 after the penalty, and Grace is going to throw it. He rolls out and tries to hit his receiver, Antonio Cartagena, and it was offline and out of bounds, bringing us up a 3rd and 15.
When you see him rolling out, it reminds me a lot of Denard Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
When you see this guy running.
That's a good comparison right there.
Yeah, when you see him running out with the dreads and just the style of him, it reminds you a lot of one of the greats to come out of Deerfield Beach, and that's Denard Robinson, who's right now with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Shoelaces, of course, via Michigan University, now playing in the National Football League. Dream of so many young men in these parts.
Of course, Captain.
A lot of dreams have been fulfilled.
On both sides. Both sides.
So he's 3rd and 15 at the Bucks 40, and we got another flag. Looks like it'll be on Deerfield once again. False start. So 3rd and 20, they're going in the wrong direction, leading 7-6.
And as I told you, with this type of offense, you got a grinding type of offense. You want to make sure that you don't put yourself in first and long, first and 15. It's tough for this type of offense to be putting that out because you're not slinging the ball down the field to get chunk yards. This is a bang, 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 and see what you come up with.
All right, we'll see what Alan Jackson has here. 3rd and 20. I don't know if you got too many plays in the playbook. Grace is going to throw it under pressure. Runs left. Tries to get as much yardage as he can. Pick up about 6 yards, and the punting unit will come on. Good pursuit by Ely.
As I told you earlier, Captain, we talked about it. Deerfield is without their starting quarterback. And, Grace, like I told you, Grace has played pretty much a lot of, he's played linebacker early in the year. Now he's been asked to go to the running back. So Cortez, it's going to be a little tough on him to learn the offense when I'm being asked to put this offense and keep it rolling.
Deerfield will punt it away. Geddes back at his own 20-yard line.
Nice punt.
And it is a very good punt. Fair catch caught set for Geddes, and Thomas Geddes will get the fair catch and secure it, and it'll be 1st and 10 right at the 20-yard line for Ely. So Deerfield leads at 7-6, exactly 11 minutes to go before intermission. Mentioned the quarterback situation at Deerfield. Jeffrey Joseph is the original starter. Grace played sparingly in the first 2 games. Played well, though. 5 of 7 for 141 yards and a touchdown. Looks like he has good control of the offense as Ely takes over, and Moffitt with the handoff up the middle. About 7 yards. Demetrius Bellamy on the carry.
Cap, I've known from being a running back, once you get those linemen's ears pinned back and they start sensing
Another flag on the play here.
power like that, they can continue to roll. They can continue to go, and Deerfield's defensive line's got to stand up and make a play to slow this down, because once you get an offensive line like this rolling, and they're big, as you can see both sides of the ball, their offensive lines are huge.
Ely's getting good push after not getting much on their first possession, but they really responded here, especially on their last couple of possessions, including the scoring drive. We'll see what the flag is about. It came after the play, so I don't know if it's maybe sideline. But
Like we might be counting guys at this point.
the legal substitution or
Illegal substitution on Deerfield.
We're counting guys.
too many guys on the field. Let's see what it's against Deerfield. We know that. So they'll step it off here. And it'll be a 1st down after the 7-yard pickup on 1st down by Bellamy. So they'll have to reset the sticks here.
1st down from Blanche.
It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 35-yard line. So we got a little choppy game here.
Yeah.
And the officials trying to get everybody under control. Our referee Roy gets off.
Oh, we got another flag, Cap.
Got another flag here.
Might be on one of the coaches on this
Another
one.
flag
Cap.
thrown.
This might be on either sideline or something dealing with in the coach's box.
Well, it's definitely thrown at the direction of Deerfield Beach, and
Yeah, one of the
coach is on
coaches.
the sideline. Has had his hands up and asking for an explanation. I don't know if he'll get one or not, or one to his liking. But they had the sideline warning.
Something to do with the sideline there.
And now it looks like one of the coaches did not like the fact that they were penalized for it was an illegal substitution, it looked like, after the play.
Correct.
And now Roy Getzoff is explaining to head coach Alan Jackson exactly what the penalty was. Still haven't marked off the second penalty. See if they will. Maybe he just wants to make his point.
Exactly. And that's what coaches should do. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I used to love to see sometime with my coach, hey, you got to explain it to him. And
Right.
that way I knew my coach had my back on this field.
Shout out to Big Mom.
Well, they haven't marked off
Shake 'em up.
any yardage for the second penalty, and I don't think they will. I think Getzoff just wanted to get his point across.
Shout out to Devon.
And Coach Jackson wanted to do so as well because the ball has not moved. It's still at the 35-yard line.
Baby Taylor, I love you, baby.
And I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
His girlfriend.
Of course, Cap, of course.
I love you.
Talked it out, and they said, okay. So
Everything settled down, and now we can get back to playing football.
10:37 to go. Deerfield Beach leads at 7-6 over the Ely Tigers. So it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Moffitt in shotgun.
35.
Bellamy to his right. 2 receivers to his left. 1 to his right. And direct handoff. They'll give it to Bellamy, left side. Squirts through. Gets through about 6 yards. Flags on the play.
All over the place, Cap.
3 hankies down, and that's bet a lot that would be holding on Ely, and indeed it is.
That it is. It'll come back. That it will. It will come back.
So another flag, and they're handing them out. There's some equal distribution on both
I'm
sides.
going to tell you, they're going to probably have to wash those flags after this game is over. They've been on the ground so much.
So that'll push them back after a nice gain on first down by Demetrius Bellamy. Push them back all the way to the 25-yard line. So we first and a cab ride for Ely. Moffitt in shotgun. Looks to throw this time. Looks left side. Got a receiver on the slant, and it's incomplete.
And that's their playmaker, the guy who they're depending on to make plays, Cap, to hold on to that. And that's the second time we've seen a receiver from Ely where he dropped the ball that was right in his hands, in the perfect spot.
Thomas Geddes with the drop, and Moffitt put it right on the numbers.
Couldn't ask for it.
We got a timeout, Ely.
You couldn't ask for that to be in a better spot.
2nd and 20, and I think for Ely to win this game, they're going to have to complete a pass like that, Tony. I think that's going to be key here as we look down and as this game is kind of settled in here. Still a little bit choppy with all the flags and stoppages, but I think we realize what both teams want to do, what the strengths of both teams are.
Correct.
And Ely, I think, is going to have to make a play in the passing game, and Deerfield's got to figure out a way to stop the run a little bit.
Deerfield's got to stop the run. Ely's got to settle down a little bit. They've made too many mistakes that have put themselves out of drives and put Deerfield in drives. And if they settle down, guys, with the way this offense is running that Ely has, this game can get pretty interesting down the back stretch of this ball game when you talk about the teams.
I want to welcome everybody that's joining us on the South Florida Sports Network, SFSN.com. Game presented this evening by Audible Sports. Curtis Stevenson alongside Tony Sands. 7-6 Deerfield Beach over Ely. 2nd and 20 at the Ely 25-yard line. Moffitt in shotgun. 3 wide receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. A low snap. Moffitt handles it. Looks right side. He's got a receiver. Flag is down. Pass is complete. Picks up about 2 yards.
Down on the outside, about the 27-yard line, but there is a flag.
So we'll check the flag.
Oh, we got clipping against Blanche Ely.
Laderick Smith was the receiver. And looks like it's going to be against Ely. So another flag.
Smith with the receive, but the ball is going to be.
Nice open field tackle, captained by James Pierre. Nice open field tackle. Sometimes DBs hate when all of a sudden you got a receiver coming at you with that much real estate. It can become very difficult to get past you. Lo and behold, with his speed, he can take it the distance at any point.
Yeah, good form tackle there. And it'll be against Ely. They'll push them all the way back inside the 10-yard line to about the 9.
Back inside the 9-yard line.
We'll get an exact indication. It was clipping on Ely, as now they've. Roy gets off. So, wow. Ely here, at this point, Tony, just doesn't want to do anything that would turn the ball over. They're deep in their own end.
I don't know no offensive coordinator that prepares for this type of distance and have that in their archives the way you can overcome this type of a play.
The deepest man for Deerfield Beach is about 10 yards in front of the first down marker. It's second and about 35.
Captain got 3 wide at the top.
2 to your left, 5 wide receiver set.
Oh, Cap, wait a minute now.
Moffitt throws it. right side, and it's knocked down. Good defensive play.
You got to be careful because number 5 was running down the field with nobody over the top.
You had Bellamy.
He was over the top. The quarterback could have got it to him. He could have been racing for the end zone.
Brandon Bailey was over there in coverage in his linebacker spot. Ryan Powell made the play, knocking it down for Deerfield.
Now, you're going to hear that name a lot, Captain Bailey. You're going to hear that name a heck of a lot. Young guy that can play.
Just a sophomore.
And can move around, Captain. You'll hear that. You're going to hear that name as a household name here in South Florida in high school football.
All right, 3rd and 35. Moffitt will give it up the middle. And Bellamy
would move up the middle. Gets stopped hard.
gets good yardage, well short of the first down, but
At the 25.
there's a collision at the 25-yard line, picked up about 15 yards.
He's
not
hurting,
nearly.
Captain. He's hurting, Captain. He's hurting. He's hurting.
4th down.
Yeah, those
Probably
are
going to go to the sideline and get looked at by his coaches, but that was a tough hit.
big collision.
Yeah, that was
Big
a tough
collision. And check on Bellamy. But Ely will have to punt from their own 25-yard line as Deerfield sends Antonio Cartagena back. Snap and the kick, and Cartagena will field it at his own 40. Wiggles a little bit to his left, now comes back to his right,
Got to come back and forth.
and
That was Brown.
he basically lost a yard trying to wiggle 3.
Yard in the process.
So it'll be
We got another shot out here.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Deerfield leading it 7-6. Officially nighttime here at Butler Stadium. 8:25 to go.
Number 11, RJ.
Captain, the evenings turned out well. I was calling when I was in Baltimore, calling trying to see what the weather was like, because at one point I heard it was raining, and they predicted that it was going to rain today. But hey, weather held off to let this game go because it was talked that this game would be played tomorrow if the weather got bad today.
Yeah, a lot of rain in the South Florida area, but not in Deerfield Beach tonight. It's a gorgeous evening as Grace gives it to number 13, Giovanni Evans, who runs left side for a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 for the Bucks.
Got the young sophomore backfield in right now for the Bucks.
Got the Ely band jumping around, making their presence felt here. Tigers trail by a point, 7-6.
When you talk about Ely High School, like you said, you brought up the band, Captain. That's what a lot of people want to see. They want to see that band get on the field and excited at halftime.
Oh, yeah. Just 7:44 away from that here. As Grace the give to Alton Allen. He basically no gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd, and we'll call it 7. Maybe he got a yard. So Deerfield continues to change it up in the backfield. Mentioned earlier, Tony, 8 different players ran the ball last week for Deerfield. A lot of similar guys, similar body styles, athletes, play all over the field. So 3rd and 7. It's Grace. He's going to throw it right side, off target, intended for Giovanni Evans. He was open but couldn't make the connection, so Deerfield goes 3 and out.
And I think this is where, with Cortez and Joseph, this is where I think this offense has probably going to be a little bit more restricted. Coach Lewis got to figure out what he can put his young quarterback in what position to make a play, because he's without his starting guy. He's without the starting quarterback here.
Geddes sits at his 19-yard line for the Tigers. See if Ely comes after this one a little bit here, Tony. Looks like they might make a run at trying to block this kick. We got a flag on the play, or
we got
timeout first. So they'll pick up the flag. We have a timeout, Ely. They trail 7-6. Let's talk about Broward County here. We mentioned St. Thomas earlier, Tony. Some of the other schools, Flanagan, looks like a team that's got a good squad this year.
Exactly.
Monarch, it's got a lot of offensive weapons.
And you talk about Monarch. Right now, Monarch is in the decision, and their star guy. After tonight, his career is over at Monarch High School. due to the fact of the age rule here in South Florida. But he'll go on, I'm quite sure, and have a stellar career at Alabama with Coach Saban. So his career is pretty much over at this point for Monarch High School. And you talk about St. Thomas. I had the pleasure of seeing St. Thomas as they was boarding their plane for Don Bosco. They were going up to the military, West Point, to play Don Bosco. So when you look at South Florida, and here we go, another team that's going out of state to defend what I call the state championship. Because right now, state of Florida is undefeated when they go on the road this year.
You mentioned the receiver Calvin Ridley, a Monarch. Tonight will be his last game, as he will turn 19 years old. He's headed to Alabama, but Monarchs seem to watch a lot of offensive weapons. Ely does come after the punt, but it's a good one and a little bit short.
I got it down there.
But they got it off, and it rolls dead as Deerfield picks it up at the 31-yard line. So that's where Ely will start, trailing 7-6. Both of these teams looking to be a force in Broward County. Ely expected to win their division.
Yeah, they should win that division. That division is it's a down year.
It's down, the district, yeah.
Yeah, it's down for that district. You look at Cardinal Gibbons is another team captain that is doing well. They played Cooper City tonight, and they blew out they had a lengthy lead last week. So Cooper City is looking good also.
Arthur Forrest gets the call and bumps it to the right side, outside, and picks up about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. They brought their number 86 with the grab, Rashawn Davis, and that'll move the sticks, and the Tigers have it at midfield.
And if you notice, you call it up the middle of that field, the Autobahn. They look like they've been trying the middle of the field because I'm quite sure the coaches see that there's something there. It's just that their receivers have dropped the ball. And this was the first receiver to catch that ball behind the linebacker. So they see something there.
Well, they tried Geddes a couple times on a similar play, and drop or incomplete, however you want to phrase it. But number 86, Rashawn Davis, good catch and run there. And we have our mandatory water break here midway through the second quarter. Deerfield leads at 7-6. Just under 6 minutes to go, 5:59. Curtis Stevenson alongside former St. Thomas standout Tony Sands, all-time leading rusher at St. Thomas Aquinas. You still hold that mark, correct?
Correct, Captain. When you talk about a stable of guys that come out of there, you talk about the Giovanni Bernard, even like with Scarlett and Deltron that's there now. I had the opportunity to talk with those guys before they got on the plane, and like I told those guys, they got to hold up to the alumni that came out of St. Thomas. So we're expecting a win this week, tonight, Saturday night.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, and the give up the middle, and I'll be forced once again for about 5 yards, so they're into Deerfield territory. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Ely. So Forrest getting the majority of the carries on this drive, giving Bellamy a break. Bellamy got knocked pretty good on that previous series. We'll see what his status is. Maybe it's just a rotation deal, or if he got wind knocked out of him. 2nd and 5, 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Moffitt once again in shotgun. Moffitt looks to the sidelines. Bring a receiver in motion. Be Thomas Geddes.
And Forrest, if you could, it's taking pretty much, you're almost looking at 6 guys that it's taking to bring Forrest down.
Forrest gets the call once again, gets to about the 45-yard line, picks up about 2, but flag comes down, and it's going to be a hold on Ely. Got to be double digits as far as flags go on both sides.
On both sides, easy.
Combined, as we've had at least 4 encroachment penalties on Ely. A couple of holds, Deerfield Beach. had some sideline issues, legal substitution earlier. So that'll push Ely back in to their own territory. Costly penalty. Now they're at their own 44-yard line. Mark to get is the Deerfield 42. So second down, 5 wide go the Tigers, and Moffitt barking out signals. Snap. Moffitt looks. Pressure up the middle. Moffitt eludes. Scrambles to his right. Comes to the sideline. Looks for midfield. He gets it. Picks up about 7 yards. So got
a manageable down here for him, Cam. With any offensive striking, this is a manageable down for him.
Essentially got back the penalty yardage.
Correct.
So mentioned a manageable third down, and we'll call it a short 7. So third down coming up. See if Ely can keep this drive going. Under 5 minutes to go. Second quarter. Deerfield Beach leads at 7-6. And we have another flag.
Got a flag.
Bellamy is back in the game, Cap. Bellamy is back in the game.
Looks like an illegal formation against the Eagles.
So
Now that's nice to see when you see your offensive line tying the shoe of your running back. Bellamy,
you would like that.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna tell you something. I love offensive linemen. They're in a unique group when it comes to the position on the football field. They stick together and they love their running backs. I must say. And Bellamy has got to be special when your offensive lineman reach down there and tie your shoe. You got to be a special guy.
I don't know if there's an illegal formation, but it pushes. It's a 5-yard penalty. Also push Ely back to their own 48-yard line. So it'll be third and essentially 11. Shotgun set, 3 wides to your left, 2 to your right for Ely. Moffitt gets the snap, looks to sling it. He's going to run it, runs left side.
Oh.
Tries to get back to midfield, but great tackle by Deerfield Beach. Good pursuit.
Eddie Brown. That appears to be Eddie Brown, Calvin, that closed in on that, preventing the first down.
Number 18, Eddie Brown, 5'10", 190-pound senior, was a heat-seeking missile on that one. He found his target in Moffitt and drilled him right at the line of scrimmage. Clock ticking, 3:50 to go, second quarter. Good snap, and Ely will...
And that's Forrest punting that.
Punt it away. Arthur Forrest. They let it drop, and Cartagena
wait a minute. Hold on,
picks it up.
Oh,
we got a flag on the play as Cartagena gets good yardage.
Nice.
Approaches midfield, is down exactly at midfield. We have a flag, though, right around the 10-yard line. We also have a player down for Ely in that vicinity. And we'll check on the injured player, but that looks to be coming back. Number 28, Jefferson Rosame, I believe is the injured Tiger.
Yeah, that is. Number 28.
I didn't see a hold on that, Tony. We had good sight line on that as that was on our short side of the field. We also have another flag here right around midfield. We got personal foul.
Dead ball.
So we have a personal foul. Might have been after the play. But we also have a holding. Looks like Jefferson Rosame is going to be fine. He trots off on his own power.
And you like to see that, Cap. You like to see when these young men walk off on their own power.
So after all that, it's a great return by Cartagena. About a 40-yard return. But the ball is going to be marked at the 5-yard line for Deerfield. So they're backed up at their own end. First time they've been down there.
Now you got your second-string quarterback in, Cap. Do you lessen what you do at this point with this field? In this field position, do you restrict what you call here just to be on the safe side and not to make a mistake here and give either the ball deep within their territory?
I believe both fouls were on Deerfield, so that'll push them back at the 5-yard line. And with 3:30 to go, you got to lead. Granted, it's only 1 point, Tony, but what do you do with the sophomore quarterback? As Deerfield will rehuddle. They pushed them back even further.
It looks like they're about on the 3-yard line here.
Wow.
Probably on the 3.
So they're in the shadows of their own goalpost here. So 1st and 10 at the 2. So Grace under center will give it. Flags again. What's new? Another whistle. It looks like to be false start on the Bucks.
You go back to the 1.5-yard line. What do you do here? I mean, Coach Jackson appears to be calling a timeout. Coach Jackson calls a timeout.
Come on now.
We got timeout on the field. Timeout Deerfield, leading 7-6.
Offensive coordinator Coach Lewis brings his troops over to talk to him. In this situation, I'm quite sure he want to talk to him to make sure that here we are with 3 minutes and 28 seconds left at this point, Captain. They don't want to make a mistake. Deerfield don't want to make a critical mistake and give Ely the ball down here and possibly Ely score and takes it in at halftime ahead.
We expected a good one, and we got one. Yeah. Glad you're joining us here on the South Florida Sports Network, SFSN.com. Tonight's game brought to you by Audible Sports. Curtis Stevenson and the Tuxedo Man, Tony Sands, in the box for tonight's featured game of the week. We are at Deerfield Beach on the campus at Butler Stadium. The Bucks lead at 7-6. Special night here in Deerfield. Had a dedication ceremony earlier. A lot of city commissioners were here. We had some former NFL players, the McDougal brothers, are here in attendance. Reminder to stay tuned during halftime. We'll have the festivities by the Blanche Ely Marching Band. And we'll get you ready for the second half here, but still plenty of time in the second quarter, 3:38 to go, and Deerfield's backed up. It's like Grace just trying to get a little room with the quarterback sneak. It's about 1.5 yards. To give him a little bit of operating room, and clock continues to run. 3:15.
I think you stay here, Captain. You just stay honest. Keep the ball on the ground.
Come on now, let's get behind your Bucks.
Get in a situation to where you don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah, I think if you can get something and you bust one, then you rethink it, but brings up a 2nd and 7. Give left side. It's about 2 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 6.
Martin, there go another name. That's another back, Cap. That's another back. So if you look at the different backs that have carried the ball for Deerfield, that's pretty much your own number. Right now, we'll be on number 5.
Yeah, you're right. We have Kimar Martin with the carry there. 5'10", 165 junior. 2 wide, 1 wide receiver to Grace's right. See if they keep it on the ground here. And they're going to roll Grace out. They're going to throw it. Grace looking to that side. Fires high and incomplete.
It's open and overthrows him on the sidelines.
I think that's what's restricting it. For the things I know that Coach Lewis can do with this offense, that's kind of restricting him. Because, like I said, this young guy is not, his throwing mechanics are not tuned in. So I think that's what's going to restrict what he can do, how he want to open this offense up.
Simeon Brown was the intended receiver. He was open. Grace got good form. Ball comes out quick. Looks like he has a pretty decent arm, but just off target.
He has a strong arm, Gabby. That he does. He has a strong arm. It's just when you worked at the linebacker position, now you're asked to be at the quarterback position. It's pretty tough on you.
Called into duty. Jeffrey Joseph is the normal starting quarterback. Deerfield punting out of their end zone, and it is shanked off the side of the foot. And Ely might have some pretty good field position here. Try to grab the lead for the first time. They trail by a single digit, 7-6, and we'll see where the referees mark it here. Tony, right at the 25-yard line. Wow.
Coach Darrell Williams put the ball down. Referee Darrell Williams put the ball down.
It's about a 17-yard punt.
Yeah. Now we come out to see if, I'm quite sure Ely coaches will probably tell them, hey guys, we got to get a score. We want to go in halftime ahead here.
Be a big coup for the Tigers here if they could take the lead on the road.
Bellamy is in the game.
Bellamy back in. The give to Bellamy up the middle. He is taken down after a gain of 2.
Run gets stopped.
That big offensive line
Big fellas.
by Ely. Number 75, Rachelian Romaine. Big kid, 6'5", 280. He's heavily recruited in Broward County.
That is.
The top 20 players.
Because so many people here, when you come to South Florida, you're coming for skill position, and they overlook the big linemen that we have here in South Florida.
3 wide to your left, and Moffitt is going to throw that way. Looks for the end zone, and it's caught. Incomplete. Oh.
But through the hands of the safety and off the chest of the receiver.
And that's McNeil that saved that. That's McNeil. That's Ashton McNeil saved that.
I thought Geddes had that, and it was on the far side of the field. And it was a good throw. It was a lot of activity in the area. It could have been picked off, but also could have been 6 for Ely. And the ball falls harmlessly to the ground, so be 3rd and 8. Moffitt in the shotgun set once again. Bellamy to his right.
And that's the matchup cabinet everybody was waiting to see. Is McNeil line up against Gaddis and see how, because McNeil likes to play. He likes to play man. He likes to play the man.
Well, on the far
Press
side of the
corner.
field, top side of the formation. And they'll give it to Bellamy. Spin move. Gets first down yardage inside the 15 down to the 10-yard line. And as the clock runs, they stop it at 104 to move the sticks, and they keep it on the ground. And
Ely's bringing out the big package. They're bringing out the bigs. They bring out the power running game. Foster has come in the ball game.
also, number 23, Robert Williams, enters the game. So they go with their big backs, take the wide receivers out. Geddes is the lone wide receiver, top of the formation. The give to Williams. Looks like Deerfield was caught off guard. It's a touchdown. Williams inside the 5, and he scores.
Inside.
So Robert Williams, the 9-yard touchdown run under a minute.
With 35 seconds left in the half.
It's now 12-7. Ely on top of Deerfield.
It appears that, Deerfield seemed like they wasn't ready for it to be snapped, and it was snapped.
I agree. I thought there was going to be another flag called, or they thought the whistle blew, but Deerfield, especially on that right side of their defensive formation, was caught off guard. And that's exactly where Williams found the hole, and he found Pater. So the Tigers are going to go for 2 here, trailing 12-7.
He was going to go for 2.
Won't get it off.
And, yep, a little too long in the trying to get the play off.
Late flag.
35 seconds remain. Penalty is indeed on Ely. So we'll see what head coach Nakia Jenkins decides to do. I think they're going to go for 2 anyway.
Thank you.
Beautiful night here in Deerfield.
Ball out.
And more whistles. Now Deerfield will call timeout.
I can't remember go. Stated field position is critical, and it was critical just now for Ely to go ahead and get the go-ahead score going to halftime. And now coach can go in and tell these guys, okay, hey, listen, we got to settle down. This is a point where they settle down, and they make sure that these guys understand the mistakes that have stopped the drive, especially when you look at Ely case. Mistakes, jumping outside, penalties like that have cost them dearly when it comes to points in this game.
After a shaky start by Ely, they've really settled down here. If they can convert this conversion, a lot of momentum going into halftime and then coming out in the third quarter. Tonight's game on South Florida Sports Network, SFSN.com, brought to you by Audible Sports. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are.
Now, this is going to be critical for Deerfield because of some of the fact, the type of offense like I said, that Coach Lewis run and with him being have to restrict this offense. This is not an offense that can come from behind.
Well, they're going to kick the extra point or attempt the extra point here. They're rethinking it. And Carlame Charité lines up. Number 34, James Jean, is the holder. Snap, down, kick is away. Is it going to get there? No. So another miss. So he's 0 for 2 tonight. So we have a 12-7 contest here with 35 seconds to go. So Carlamel Charité short on that extra point attempt. Snap and hold seem to be fine, but just could not get enough leg into it. See if that plays a factor in as this game
as it goes on. You got to figure that's 2.
That's 2.
And it doesn't come back to haunt you come the second half.
And will Ely be forced to go for 2? That penalty really
it's the mistakes.
Yeah, botched their plans as far as they were going to go for 2. I think they had some confidence and wanted to go for 2, and then they had the penalty that pushed them back and decided to attempt the extra point. So Ely will kick it away. Charité will put it on the tee.
Shout out to the girls, Deerfield Beach girls soccer team from Coach Coleman.
35 seconds to go. 35 seconds to go.
We got to fight. We got to fight in the stands.
Altercation in the stands here. Try to get that under control here and get back to football. But that's never a good scene, never a good thing.
Never, Captain. Never. You should never have that.
And that's
you should never have that, Captain.
On our side here.
We're here for a football game, and families out to have a good time.
Wait a minute,
Captain.
Captain.
We got a lot of real estate here, Captain. Wait a minute, Captain.
He's going to go across the midfield to the 40, 30, 20, inside the 10, 5, touchdown.
We got flags on the field, Captain. We got flags on the field.
A beautiful return by Antonio Cartagena, but looks to be coming back, Tony.
Captain, remind me some years ago when Deerfield played Miami Northwestern in a critical game. And it went down just like this.
Cartagena found a lane and burst through it, and nobody was catching him.
At all.
Coleman, look for Coleman. He picked up 1 or 2 of the girls. They were right here in the front. Deputy Coleman, I think.
So, a lot of things happening here.
Yeah.
Is it indeed
a lot of excitement all over the place.
A hold? I think they got the situation in the crowd
under control,
and that's a good thing. Security will deal with that, and we have a hold on Deerfield. So,
coming back.
Beautiful return by Antonio Cartagena, the 5'9" senior. Really showed off his speed and broke through that initial wave of tacklers. He really turned on the speed, and by midfield, nobody was catching him
at all.
Was aided by a holding penalty, but that's a shame for the young man. Shame for Deerfield Beach. This crowd was really into it. And after all that, we have 22 seconds to go. Deerfield still down 12-7, and they'll have the ball at their own 40-yard line.
Yes.
So Grace under center. 2 running backs in the backfield. Throws it.
Underneath
it's
screen.
Complete. We have a first down. Another flag on the play. That looks to be coming back as they cross midfield. Number 11, Roderick Gervin with the reception. Big receiver, 6'3". It's like one of the linemen got a little lost there, Tony.
Yeah. Went a little too far there. Went a little too far downfield.
Deerfield hurting themselves with penalties once again. Now 11 seconds remaining.
Pretty much.
And we'll see if they just decide to, let's get in the locker room and try to clean this thing up a little bit for the second half, or if they want to take a shot downfield.
I think knowing Coach Lewis, he's going to pretty much try to take that shot downfield.
No wasted plays for Deerfield.
He's going to take that shot downfield.
Grace under center. And the give is up the middle. They'll keep it on the ground, and they'll get about 6 yards.
But he gets stopped.
And that'll be Kobe Farish to end the first half.
End of the first half.
And Ely takes the lead at halftime.
So an exciting first half, a flag-filled first half, but a very exciting contest. And
Exactly.
we look
the master
for the second half.
of the band.
Ely leads at 12-7 over Deerfield Beach.
And you can see how at any point in time this game can change with the speed that these guys have. When you're coming out, you know, we kick the ball, you think that Ely thought that it was safe with going with the lead, and all of a sudden Deerfield takes it the distance, but a penalty brings it back, and that's been pretty much the outcome of this game, penalties stopping drives.
So both sides will head to the locker room. Ely will retreat to the west side of the stadium. Deerfield will head back into their locker room. We're going to step aside here. We'll rejoin you in about 12 minutes, and we'll preview the second half with Ely leading at 12-7 over Deerfield Beach. We'll leave you, though, with looks to be some very enjoyable halftime festivities. The Blanche Ely Band is expected to perform. So we'll rejoin you in about 12 minutes. Score at halftime, Ely 12 and Deerfield Beach 7.
But now it is halftime. The first band representing the colors, orange and green, under the leadership of Mr. Richard Beckford, Assistant Director of Bands, Ms. Marie Rogers. Get on your feet. This is the Blanche Ely High School Tiger.
You saw the fight?
I saw a little bit of it. I saw more than that.
Hey, how you doing? Curtis, nice to meet you.
This is the Deerfield Beach High School.
Good.
Third quarter getting ready to get underway. We were just treated to two fabulous renditions by the Deerfield Beach Marching Band and Blanche Ely. Curtis Stevenson and Tony Sands back with you here at Butler Stadium on this Friday evening. High school football at its finest. Ely with a 12-7 advantage over Deerfield Beach. And sloppy first half, Tony, but Ely able to get the touchdown late. Gets the lead going into the locker room at halftime. Got to be a big confidence booster for them as they're on the road trying to get this win.
And I had a chance to, at halftime, to go and speak with Coach Jackson and ask him what's the keys to his team winning this game. And the one thing he said, the guys got to settle down. They got to settle my guys down, and we got to minimize the mistakes. And he said, with that, we simplified the offense, but we got to open it up. And he said, but they got to minimize the mistakes.
A lot of flags in the first half on both sides. Ely's going to kick it off as Antonio Cartagena is to our left. He returned one for a touchdown just before halftime, but it was nullified via a holding penalty. That brought the crowd to its feet here. Good crowd here. We're on the south side of the stadium. Nightfall here in Deerfield Beach. Non-district game, but one of the biggest rivalries, not only in South Florida, but Broward County specifically, Deerfield Beach, and Blanche Ely High School.
And these are, like I told you, these are neighboring community. These kids live right next to each other. Your house can be right next to mine, and I go to Ely, and you go to Deerfield due to the district lineup, how they line them up. I guarantee you, I knew they weren't going to kick to the young fellas.
Arthur Forrest with a little squib kick, and Kobe Farish catches it and falls to the ground at the 40-yard line, so they don't kick to number one Cartagena, but they do give up field position, and Deerfield Beach will have prime field position at their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10 to start the third quarter.
Exactly, and like I said, I knew they weren't going to kick. They didn't want that to happen to where all of a sudden Cartagena takes that back the distance right here early and give Deerfield the momentum.
All right, so Ely playing a little strategy here to start the third. See if it pays true or if it backfires on them. Grace once again up to under center. The sophomore quarterback. Two wide receivers to his right. Man in motion. And Grace is going to throw it on first down.
He'll run it.
And now he'll tuck it and run it. Gets good yardage. Gets across the 45. Gets to 6 yards. He'll be 2nd and 4 at the Bucks' 46-yard line. And I don't know if that was a designed run, but good yardage on first down. Cortez Grace comes to the sideline, gets some instruction.
And when Cortez first came into Deerfield Beach, he came in as a quarterback out of Little League football. And then they decided they needed him more at the linebacker position, but we're finding out here now, at this point in the season, they need him at the quarterback position.
Jeffrey Joseph unable to go with an injury. The original starting quarterback. Good size for Grace, 5'9", yes. 170. And he's going to turn it, hand it off.
Looks like he got enough for the first
Giovante Evans running hard between the tackles, and he picks up 5, and that'll move the sticks at midfield. And we have a player down for Ely.
And that's the type of play that Coach Lewis loved to run. He loved to run the mixed direction, and he loves at a certain point when he brings that back, you plant your foot in the ground, and you take it east and west.
Kevin Williams is down at the Deerfield 47-yard line. Looks like he's holding his left side, might be his hip.
Yeah, he's holding that
on the school board in November
toward the back of his,
obligation bond. Visit BrowardSchools.com. Enhance school safety, music, art, athletic facilities.
Beautiful night here.
And technology.
That it is, Captain.
Deerfield Beach. Little hot, little muggy, but we'd have it no other way. It's September here in South Florida. The rain has stayed away.
Get out and vote.
And that's the key. The rain has stayed away when the weather people told us that it would be a rainy night. But it's not. It's a football night here in South Florida.
Williams walks off, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the just inside Ely territory for Deerfield Beach. 2 wide receivers to Grace's left, 1 to his right. Fullback field, and Grace will toss right to Evans. Evans turns the corner. He gets first down yardage and more, all the way down to the 25-yard line. But we have a flag in the backfield.
Flag on the backfield.
That looks to be coming back. Another penalty.
Great yardage, but it's coming back.
That was a 24-yard
Gonna be a hold.
run. That'll be negated by the flag.
About a 22-yard
But that's
run.
the one thing that Coach Jackson stated is guys have to settle down and minimize mistakes. So if they minimize this mistake, that's a positive play. Now it turns it into a negative play.
That'll be first and 20.
Mistakes really starting to pile up. And with Deerfield Beach down by 5,
Yes.
you just put it under the microscope even more. I mean, Ely hasn't played their cleanest game either, but they're the ones that lead at 12-7. They've just made one less mistake, it seems like, than Deerfield Beach.
Exactly.
All right, all the way back at their own 40-yard line. It'll be first down for Deerfield, and they get swallowed up.
Too much penetration in the middle trying to run that mixed direction play.
Number 10, Stephen Carter getting in there, and that'll be a loss of 2.
That was number 25 for Deerfield. Out of nowhere.
Alton Allen had no shot. He was wrestled behind the line of scrimmage.
Stop in the middle.
And it's second down, and a long second down. You say a bus ride for Deerfield at this point.
And it pretty much, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I know pretty much I keep everything in front of me. Guys, keep everything in front of you, whether it be running pass, you keep it in front of you. We come out of this possibly with a long third still.
They spotted at the 38, so it'll be second and 23. And Grace is under extreme pressure again, rolls back, and he goes down. The ball pops out. Deerfield recovers. Allen tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. That could have been disastrous for Deerfield Beach, but
Back to the line of scrimmage.
Allen, Johnny on the spot there.
Could have been a loss of 10.
Grace has to be,
Ball brings it back to the line.
Cortez has to be careful in that.
Now another flag.
Another flag, Cap.
Grace looking to throw. He goes down. He's dumped at the 27-yard line.
So there's a flag down.
And his Cap, that his receivers got to give him some help. He's waiting on the receivers to come out of the route. They gotta come out of those routes in order for him to release that ball.
Bad series for Deerfield, and we have a legal formation.
Illegal formation.
But that is the one thing that Coach Jackson said we got to minimize
Brings out the punch
mistakes.
Well, that did not happen on their first series of the third quarter here, Tony, as Blanche Ely obviously will decline that penalty. And Deerfield had the ball at the 25-yard line of Ely.
Yep.
And it seemed like after 3 penalties, they're now punting from their own 28-yard line.
Exactly. But like I say, that's got to be now sending guys on.
Devon Smith runs on late, number 22, another running back for Deerfield, and their punting formation. Geddes is back at his own 40-yard line for the Tigers. Snap away, good punt, high, and it's like it'll get a Deerfield bounce, and they'll touch it up right around their 40, or right around midfield, excuse me. So with 8:12 to go, third quarter, Ely
Send Bellamy up the middle.
that big offensive line of Romaine Rashaylin. 3 wide receivers to Moffitt's right. He's in shotgun. He's going to throw it. Looks down the middle of the field. Scrambles right, rolls to his right. Still looking. Now tucks and runs it. Trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's denied. Looks like he might have lost yards. Hit on the far side.
Lost about 2 on that one, Cap. I think they go back with the ball on the ground here.
And they'll hand it off. Bellamy, he's going to turn it up right. On the short side, he gets about 5 yard line. It's about 5 yards to the 45 at Deerfield. Into Bucks territory, so it'll be 3rd and 5 for Blanche Ely.
They put the ball on the ground, Captain, and knew they'd go with their bread and butter. And I think the running attack tonight has been their bread and butter.
Offensive line really doing a good job of getting push up front.
And in this point in the game, as you see, once that size is going to make a difference. That offensive line is going to start probably putting that weight on those defenders, and it can get pretty ugly.
Deerfield without Jason Strobridge, the 5-star defensive end. Moffitt's going to throw it on 3rd down, right at the sticks, and it is complete.
It appears to be a first down. If you're looking at the ref on the far side, Captain, this is a first down.
Looks like he had Geddes, and Geddes, after a couple of early drops, redeems himself there.
The first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Deerfield 40. A score here really would put the screws to Deerfield Beach.
It's going to bring them out of their offensive formation if they score.
Moffitt on the keeper, and he gets nothing. Takes it out of bounds, far side, loses about 3 yards. Deerfield was ready for that one.
Attention, please.
That they were.
If anybody finds set of keys on a Deerfield Beach lanyard, please bring it to one of the staff members.
6:16 to go. 3rd quarter. Ely leads at 12-7. We have our mandatory water break. Timeout. We have one each quarter. About midway through at the referee's discretion, who tonight is Roy Getzoff. We thought it'd be a close one. Thought it'd be a little bit more cleaner.
Yeah.
A lot of penalties this evening on both sides. Costly penalties by Deerfield Beach. Ely was shaky early on, but settled down here as this game has gone on, and right now they have the 5-point advantage. And if it wasn't for a couple of missed extra points, they would have be up by 7 points.
Exactly. Captain, I think this game is going to come down to the team that settle down the quickest and make the least mistakes at this point, because both teams have made a lot of mistakes, and it cost them drives, long-standing drives. You get down here on the 25-yard line, and all of a sudden now you're back in your territory. You can't have that type of negative playing when it comes to trying to win a rivalry game such as this, and you're already down by 5 points.
Okay, I'll get a hold of that.
Thank you for joining us here on the South Florida Sports Network, sfsn.com. Tonight's game of the week brought to you by Audible Sports. Curtis Stevenson alongside Tony Sands. We're in Deerfield Beach, Butler Stadium. Ely has the ball 2nd and 12 at the 42-yard line of Deerfield Beach. Moffitt's going to throw it underneath. He's got Geddes. Switch is complete. First down.
Nice upended tackle. Nice upended tackle, buddy.
Number 17, Ryan Powell, flipped Geddes, but not after he picked up first down yardage, and Ely's on the move.
And that is the young brother of Brandon Powell.
Really seems to have Deerfield Beach off balance. Deerfield, especially that defensive front, looks a little winded. A lot of hands on hips, hands on knees, and Ely's continuing to press the pace here. Moffitt, bad snap, slips to his hands, and he's going to fall on it back at the 30-yard line.
10 yards.
Captain, the mistakes. You make one positive, but then you make 2 negative, and you continue to be in the negative.
So just like that, Ely puts themselves in a hole, and it's just a matter of minimizing mistakes on both sides. Been a lot of penalties in this game. Bad snap right there. Missed extra points by Ely as well. So they'll have it at the 30-yard line. They've got to get all the way down to the 6-yard line. So 3 wide receivers to Moffitt's left. He's going to go right side. Those got a receiver open high, and it is incomplete.
We got him.
Looking for number 5, Demetrius Bellamy.
I'm pressing. He's calling a personal foul on Bellamy. And it's always the second guy that you see And Bellamy was the second person in that incident as I watched it unfold. Bellamy was the second one. Once he got up and he pushed the guy, he mushed him. Referee Coach Williams caught that and threw the flag on it.
The throw was high, and Bellamy went up for it, and he was struck in the back.
Yeah.
And motions took over after that. Did not like the
He
hit.
did not like the way that the defender stood over him, so he kind of, when he got up, mushed him, and that's what.
So the referees are sorting it out right now, but
because I'm quite sure they know they got to keep this game relaxed. They can't let these guys get out of hand. They want to control the game, and that's what the great referees do. Oh, wait a minute.
might have been on the
That was
hit
on
by.
Deerfield.
Yeah, it might have been on the hit.
That was on.
I did not see the.
In the area that it was in, Captain. In the area that was in, Captain. That was a bad flag.
Yes, it was.
That was a bad flag. For the simple fact is that the defender really didn't do much. The guy went up and he came down in his position. I thought it was going to be on the second part of that, to where Bellamy got up and mushed the defender. I mean, that was a bad call. I clearly say that was a bad call when you look back at that.
I don't think it was a malicious hit by the Deerfield
wasn't.
secondary, but
I didn't see
nevertheless,
I did not see it.
Another stoppage here.
Because the defender himself never retaliated. He was getting up from the position. That was a bad call. I clearly say that was a bad call. That was a horrible call. Horrible call. You don't make that.
Uncatchable.
Yeah, you don't make you don't throw that flag on that.
Uncatchable. Two men going up for the ball, and they hit each other in the air.
The ball was
No hands
extremely
were up.
high,
Both hands were up.
and I just think that's a no call. You keep that flag in your
Keep
back
the
pocket.
flag.
I did not see if Bellamy pushed him after
Yeah.
the play. You said he did. You
Yeah,
saw that.
yeah, I saw it. I saw
we
it
thought that
unfold.
would be the original
Yeah.
call, but nevertheless, it's third and 4 for the Tigers. Looking for more. Moffitt's going to throw it, and it's
Pass
deflected
back
and
to-
incomplete.
deflected away.
Deflected. Moffitt tries to throw the ball in
So
there.
fourth down, and we'll see what they do here. Their kicking game's been shaky, would be kind.
Cap, if I'm an Ely coach, I'm not even bringing my I'm not even bringing my kicking team out at all.
They're huddling up.
I'm not even bringing them out.
Bellamy goes to the sideline.
I don't
Moffitt
bring
goes
him
to the sideline. I think they want to talk it over. It'll be timeout Ely with 4:46 to go in the third quarter. So the bad snap puts them in jail, but they get out of jail with the questionable call on the personal foul on Deerfield Beach. And we'll see what Ely, leading by 5, wants to do here. A lot of flags. Choppy game, sloppy game. And both teams flagged up considerably. Got to be approaching 20 penalties.
At least.
Correct.
At least.
And that's going to be
So,
discussed. I'm going to
We'll see what Ely wants to do here. See who they
Cap,
bring out.
I wouldn't bring my special teams out. I've given you 2 opportunities, and you come away with nothing.
Well,
I give you two opportunities, you come away with nothing.
I tend to agree with you, Tony. Looks like they're bringing their offense out. Now they're coming back as Nakia Jenkins, head coach, says, hold on a second, one more thing. And Ely trying to make it essentially be a 2-score game, up 5.
Now, but Cap, I'm going to tell you this, though. I'm going to tell you this. If I'm Coach Jackson, I'm going back to look at that play. I'm going back to look at that play.
There'll be a conversation,
I'm
I'm
going to
sure,
look
after
back
the
at that
game,
play.
at some point this week with the officiating crew.
Because I would like to see where my guy went wrong in that whole incident.
All right, so they're going to go for it on 4th and 4 at the 10-yard line.
They're setting up to go for it right here.
Moffitt in the shotgun.
Until they correct that kicking game, Captain, this is what I'll do all year. I'm going for it.
But Derek Smith is the lone receiver
They're
to
trying to get
our
him to jump.
left.
They're trying to get him to jump to get the automatic.
Well, they set up to try to
Deerfield.
get to jump.
Now, I'm going to tell you, what is maybe critical, you've used 2 timeouts here.
Yep.
You've used 2 timeouts.
2 timeouts could come back to haunt. Looks like penalties. Ely's 8 penalties for 65 yards tonight. And Deerfield Beach 8 for 70 yards tonight, so 16 penalties. It seems like 26. But you were talking about the penalty, the timeout situation, Tony, and they just burned 2 right there.
Burned 2 quick ones.
And
at some point in the fourth quarter, if this game get even, those timeouts may come back to hunt. I watched those timeouts last week come back to hunt Northwestern. They called the timeout at a certain point and it came back to hunt them.
You know, they called, that's a question too much strategy, but they called the timeout, and now they're still going to go for it.
Yeah.
So they didn't even have a play set to go.
Unless they seen something different that Deerfield lined up in and decided they want to take advantage of it. I didn't see the reason.
Well, they have a different formation offensively. Moffitt's going to throw it. He's goes down.
But I'm going to tell you, the same outcome happened last week with Miami Northwestern. You call the penalty, you have no more timeouts left, and it costs you.
So Deerfield Beach
takes over
defenses holds, and Chandler George, the linebacker, on the blitz, and he takes down Moffitt at the 25-yard line. That's where Deerfield Beach will start their second drive here of the second half, trailing 12-7.
Now the offense has got to answer. The defense have helped in this game in that point in that drive. So now offense has got to come away with some points and got to help them out.
The sophomore Cortez Grace under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Grace is going to throw it on first down. Fires to Cartagena.
Oh, nice catch!
And it is caught and dropped as he hit the ground.
That young man there, Cal, I think it's going to be, number one, is Antonio is going to be a playmaker down the stretch for the Deerfield Bucks.
Number 19, Marcavius Roach on the coverage, did a good job of just getting a hand on the ball, and as they both hit the ground simultaneously, the ball popped out because Cartagena did have the catch.
They had that catch coming down. This guy's a young playmaker. Now, now you're not Deerfield without some of their offensive starters due to injuries.
Handoff.
So
goes number 13, Giovante Evans, and Evans squirts his way to the 35-yard line, close to first down yardage. Picks up about 10, and that'll move the sticks.
As he gets up with shoelaces, trademark, feed me, give me the ball. I'm excited. And a running back like that wants the ball a lot.
Giovante Evans, 5'9", 155, sophomore.
That's that young sophomore backfield.
Same formation for Deerfield. Handoff.
All tackle. He's
gone. Allen, left side. Past the 40-yard line, down to the 35-yard line. And Alton Allen with a big run, and Ely got gashed on that play, and Grace is limping. Comes to the sideline, and Alan Jackson says, get back out there.
Let's go with it. But that's what I told you. If they settle down, they've been killing themselves with the penalties. They got to settle down. And that was his big thing. They got to settle down and lessen the mistakes.
So now Deerfield has the ball in Ely territory. Grace under center. Handoff once again. Right side. Evans, and good pursuit by that Tiger defense. In fact, number 57, Chauncey Edwards, came in from his linebacker spot and made the tackle. And that was a loss of 5 on first down.
Too much penetration there.
Deerfield, trying to get that offensive line, give him a little breather here. A couple of big fellas.
Evan appears to come out a little dinged up here.
Evans holding his left hand, his left shoulder.
No, that's that. Appears to be something in that groin area. There appears to be something in the groin area.
He's in pain, a lot of pain.
Yeah,
ouch.
That groin area, and that's a hurting area. I'm gonna tell you. You feel that when you're just walking.
You don't have to tell me, Tony.
That hurts.
Evans getting some assistance on the Deerfield sideline. Grace will throw it on second down. Looks short, now looks long. And it is complete.
Pass is complete to the sideline.
It's on the far side and close to the marker. It's like number 10, Simeon Brown, with the reception.
12 yards on the pass.
But if you notice, Captain, there's mistakes. If you can minimize those, Deerfield can drive. They've been killing themselves with the mistakes, so they're driving here, and let's see if they can sustain this drive.
Thought he had a little bit more yardage, but it's still about 3rd and 2 for Deerfield at the 28-yard line. Grace will hand off, run up the middle, got the first down and more.
Picks it up.
Kobe Farish inside the 20-yard line, and at the 2:20 mark, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bucks. Grace is still limping, so he gets the play.
I used to watch, I'm going to tell you something, I used to watch Shoelace limp that same way in football games here at Deerfield Beach High School, and still put it on you. And Grace Cortez is doing the same thing here.
All right, so 1st and 10 at the 20 as 2 wide receivers to Grace's left. The handoff to Farish, and Chauncey Edwards was in there in a hurry. Pickup of 2. So Farish now the featured back. Evans still on the sideline. Alton Allen had a big run a moment ago as Deerfield continues to rotate running backs.
And that's what you want to do at this point. You want to wear a defense down. You continue to put fresh backs in or fresh legs, and you wear a defense down, especially with the type of front five that the Deerfield Beach Bucks have.
2nd and 9 at the 18-yard line. Grace ducks under center. Edwards looking like he's going to blitz, and he might have got a little bit too aggressive there. Actually, Deerfield
Wow.
could not keep their composure on that offensive line, so another penalty on Deerfield with their 9th of the evening, and they'll turn a 2nd and 9 at the 19 into a 2nd and 14 at the 23. The 24-yard line. So another penalty pushes Deerfield back. Farish directly behind Cortez Grace, barking out signals. Grace is going to throw it, and it's intercepted on the short side. Ely crosses the 40 to the 45. And it was Jamie Kennedy with the interception, and he brings it all the way back to midfield. And what a turn of events for the Ely Tigers. Wow, Cortez Grace makes his first mistake of the evening, and it was a costly one for Deerfield.
Now the defense, their defense held them. So if their defense come out and help them out, and that's what great defenses do. They help their offenses out when they get in a little jam and they're struggling trying to get the ball in. Good defenses sustain and hold teams off. Ely should, if they do what they're supposed to do, this can possibly be a throwing out and Deerfield get the ball back. But Cortez, they got to bring him to the sideline and settle him down a little bit to make sure that they let him understand why that shouldn't have never happened.
42 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, so Deerfield will have it at their own, Ely will have it at their own 47-yard line. Moffitt the give up the middle, gets to midfield. It'll be Robert Williams with the carry, picks up about 3.5, 4 yards, and see if that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
About 5 yards from there.
Got to be able to minimize the mistakes, especially when you're young. When you're young, you've got to be able to minimize mistakes because it's tough for you to come from behind because of the type of offense that you run.
Moffitt in shotgun, handoff to Williams, up the middle, crosses the 40-yard line, gets to about the 38. They'll bring up a 3rd and short. It'll be 3rd and about 2.5, as that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. And Ely with a big interception by Jamie Kennedy. They preserve a 5-point lead as we head into the 4th quarter. And Ely leads Deerfield Beach 12-7. So the scoreboard remains unchanged.
So we're gonna, if it turn out like that, then this game could possibly be a coin toss because both of them right now are pretty much have young teams and they're on a down year early.
It's anybody's ball game at this point here, and that's what we Was it once? You got me once. I think he might have been under center twice all
Twice
game.
all game. He was twice both down here on this series. When they bring in the big package, he normally goes up under center.
Well, looking to get some short yardage here. The give is to Robert Williams, and they got the first down. So big conversion there by Blanche Ely.
And that's another back that touched the ball for Ely.
Jefferson Rosame was the carrier, I believe. Is it 28?
Number 28.
All right, so
And you got another back. Like he came in to give Mr. Williams a spell there.
Rosame 28, Williams 23. He's back into the game.
Both teams appear to have that luxury at the running back position.
Yes, they do. Gives to Williams on first down, and he carries tacklers inside the 30 to the 28. Good looking run on first down.
About 7 yards on that play.
So this is, Ely's got something going
Got
here,
something going.
but just like you're waiting for that mistake, that
You're
penalty.
waiting and waiting because you know it's going to come, and all of a sudden now they're 20 yards back.
We've seen it from both sides this evening. Two wide receivers, top of the formation, the give.
He's looking to try to keep his ball on the ground, Cap, and let the clock continue to run.
Well, we're under 11 minutes to go. Early stages, fourth quarter.
Third and more.
And I believe that was Williams on the carry. Gets about a yard. Rosame. So it'll be third and less than a yard for the Tigers. So big play here. Moffitt the handoff. Oh, Williams gets the first down, and boy, he was about
Up under that, Cap.
about an arm tackle away from heading into the end zone.
Taking it the distance and changing the score of this game.
So it'll be first and 10 at the 20-yard line for Ely, and we have a player down. Looks like number 52 for Deerfield. The training staff is out there attending to him. That's Jean Saint-Simon, linebacker.
You see the difference, Cap, when you have veteran leadership, and when you have veteran leadership such as Brandon Powell and McNeil, two guys that was in the backfield to where Deerfield didn't have to play running back by committee. Those two guys you knew were going to get the job done. And now you're dealing with a younger team. You're dealing with a younger team where you're looking for someone to step up with that leadership like a Powell had, to where these guys knew when Powell came ready to play that this team fed off of him. They're looking for that person to feed off right now, and they haven't found it as of yet.
Sharing some information in the booth. Robert Williams for Ely. Looks like 9 carries for 82 yards. They've rotated multiple backs, but he's had some big runs here for Ely as Saint-Simon is continuing to be
cramped.
looked at.
Here to
Yeah.
be cramps.
As
In this humidity, it's amazing that we haven't had more players.
Tedrick Moffitt, the junior QB, in shotgun formation. The
Forrest
give.
in there now. Forrest, the big back is in there, the big fella.
And Arthur Forrest inside
Inside run.
the 10-yard line. We'll see where they mark it.
Wow.
So just shy of the 10.
Ely is changing up the strategy. They bring in the little back to squirt you through, and then they bring in the big guy to weigh you down. It appears to be holding.
So Ely spreads you out, 4 wide receivers consistently. and then they run it inside.
Now, Captain, is this that area where we say, uh-oh?
And all of a sudden, it's 4th and 30, and they got to punt it.
Ely's changed it up until they're more shiftier back here.
Bellamy is in for pass protection. They're going to throw it, and it falls incomplete.
It appears, Cap, neither one of those receivers are ready for that to come. And the quarterback did a smart play. I'm just going to throw it incomplete and not try to scramble out of there and make a play. All of a sudden now it's 3rd and 30-something.
Well, Geddes was over there, and
neither one of them was, look back for the ball at that point.
Yeah, and it looks like Moffitt just wanted to get rid of that in a hurry, and it fell harmlessly to the ground, but it brings up a 3rd down.
And the pressure was on.
And 12 here for Ely. Tedrick Moffitt calling out signals. And he's going to throw it on 3rd down, and he fires, and it is incomplete. And a flag comes down. If it's
and in the area, that's got to
might be holding on
defense. It's got to be holding on defense.
Threw it in the middle of 2 receivers.
Wow.
And referee was quick and decisive on that call. Give him an automatic 1st down, which would be big.
Holding going against
Wow, that's critical. That brings up about 3rd and.
Well, it was not automatic 1st down. Excuse me. I thought they had it. He was past the marker. Give him enough yardage, so it'll be 3rd and 2. So it goes from 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 2.
Now Ely brings in the big guys. They bring in the big back, the power package.
9:03 to go. Ely
with William and Forrest.
Happy birthday, Thomas.
Now Tedrick Moffitt will duck under center. And they'll keep it on the grounds.
Forrest
for close to the 1st down yardage. I think he got it. We'll check on the spot.
But Cap, in this situation, it reminds me of when you're playing football in the neighborhood for the hard. And I'm quite sure that's what Ely's coach is saying. We're going for this at any point. Anywhere down here, we're going for it.
Well, even if they're short, they're going to go for it. They've already missed 2 extra points this evening. And I don't know if they're going to measure.
Bring out the measuring sticks.
They're going to bring out the chain gang here. Under 9 minutes to go. Ely leads at 12-7, looking for more. Still plenty of time left. But a score here would certainly put Deerfield Beach in a real tight jam, and the Bucks are saying they're short.
They're short about 6 inches.
So,
if you look at the big fella from Ely, he's the big lineman. He wants it. He almost appears to where he wants the ball to come to his side.
That's Romaine, one of the top offensive linemen in Broward County.
He wants that.
Shellen Romaine.
And let's see if they come to his side. He's been amping for it, and let's see if they follow him and go off the right side.
All right, so 4th and inches for Ely, and now Deerfield calls a timeout.
But now, do you bring the ball? Do you take the risk of bringing the ball off the line of scrimmage, or do you just simply go for a quarterback sneak here and just let your line thrust forward and get the easy 1st down here? I think I would say I'm going to do a quarterback sneak and just let my quarterback take it instead of taking the risk of someone pursuing in and possibly jamming us up in the backfield. I'm just going to, that's me. And I'm quite sure that's probably what they called them over there to tell the line, hey, listen, we need you guys to surge. We're going to hold the ball, quarterback sneak, and we're going to go ahead and try to get the 1st down to try to continue this drive.
That's got to be a first. A running back saying, let the quarterback sneak it.
I am a smart running back. Running backs, we are smart creatures of nature. We are smart creatures of nature. So in that instance, I know me now. I would have said, give me the ball. But I'm saying in this instance, I would have told the coach, give me the football.
Well, Deerfield called a timeout for a reason. We'll see what they want to do.
It appears that Deerfield brought in their bigs. They brought in like a double eagle front and to bring in all their bigs and cover each gap. Let's see if it works for them.
Leads the ends exposed. Moffitt's going to hand it off, and
now that's just, I'm going to tell you something.
Pushing blockers has the first down.
And Captain, that's just the power of force that saved that. That's just the power of force. And like I told you, Captain, early in the game, this is a powerful young man.
He was struck at the line of scrimmage, and it looked to be denied for a moment, but then powered through and got the first down. And at the 8:50 mark, as they reset, now they're called timeout. They're going to bring the chain gang out again. I don't know what kind of spot they got. I thought he got the first down.
I thought he got the first down. They're bringing the chain out again?
I don't know if his knee was down at some point.
Saying the knee was down. Let's see what we have here.
Okay.
This is critical, Cap. This spot here, I think, is a critical point in this ball game.
They did not get a good spot here on this
Cap.
in Ely, and they needed
let's see what we got here.
6 inches.
Captain.
And they did not get it.
Cap, it looked like it was further on this one.
Deerfield.
It was closer the first time. It was closer the first time.
So I just mentioned that he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Looked like his knee was down.
Probably appeared to be down, and then he got back up and continued to drive.
The referees and the crew were
right on top of that.
Yep. So Deerfield Beach will take over at the 8:50 mark. So a stand by the Bucks defense.
Now, Deerfield got to sustain this drive because, like I said, we're right inside 8 minutes and 50 seconds.
Not going to get too many opportunities. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 10.
Got to know that this is a critical point for you in the ball game.
Grace.
No mistakes, young guys. They got to.
His last throw was interception. He's going to hand it off here. And it's left side. Gets it up to about the 20-yard line.
Picks up a first down.
First down, and that's Alton Allen on the carry.
They bring the young guys in. They got the young sophomore backfield in.
Giovante Evans is back in the game. So that's good news for Deerfield. As
Allen
Grace
and Evans, two guys that are used to playing with each other, Cap, from Little League football here in South Florida.
And the give is to Allen, and he finds a hole and squirts outside to the left and picks up another first down. Dragged down all the way up at the 44-yard line.
Like Coach Lewis said, it appears he's appearing to trust the young guys in this situation. Normally, when you get in this situation, you tend to go towards the senior leadership, but he's trusting these young guys to get the job done.
Gain of 16 looked like as well. They push it back to the 40-yard line. First down nonetheless for Deerfield. Put together 2 straight first downs on back-to-back plays. 2 wide receivers to Grace's right. Cortez Grace under center. Hands the ball off. Giovante Evans, right side, stumbles. Good pursuit by Edwards, the linebacker from Ely, and Evans stumbles forward, picks up about, we'll see where they mark it. They're only going to give him about a yard.
Yeah, his knee hit the ground early on that one, Cap.
Good job by Chauncey Edwards. He's had a heck of a game, number 57 for Ely. The linebacker.
Appears not to be limping, appears to be fresh, so whatever they're doing on the sideline with them and working, because I've seen the trainer working with them, he appears to be getting a lot fresher, and I think he understands where he needs to be at this point.
This might be Deerfield's final chance here. Clock ticking, 7.5 to go. They hand it off. And another short gain by Deerfield.
Now you force yourself in a passing situation here.
So
force
third
yourself
down.
in a passing situation here.
Looks like there's a couple of raindrops here.
Ooh, glad we on the inside. But they said the rain would come in about 9:30, and I guess Mother Nature is making sure that is being answered.
Well, Mother Nature's on time then as we approach just a few minutes away from 9:30. 3rd and 8 for Deerfield at their own 43-yard line. Grace is going to throw it. And it's intercepted by Ely. And he's going to run it back. There's a flag down on the return. But Ely's going to have possession, it looks like. as number 8, George Heck, got the ball thrown right to him. He just stood there. It's like they're playing a little zone coverage, and ball
Step back in the zone.
was right in his hands. And all the flags, there's 3 flags down. They all came after the interception.
The ball appeared to sail a little bit, and that, sailed and landed right in the bread basket.
Grace has been high quite a bit tonight. So Ely will have possession at the 6:40 mark, but they're going to had a heck of a return, pardon the pun, inside the Deerfield 40-yard line. He picked it off at about his own 35-yard, returned it about 18 yards or so, but that'll push Ely back. I don't think they mind. They're going to have possession, try to run the clock here. It was a clipping on the return.
So now, dude.
So 43-yard line is where they'll set up shop. 1st and 10. Leading by 5, 12-7. A couple of key interceptions by the Ely secondary. The story of this game.
Mistakes.
So Tedrick Moffitt in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off, and it's going to be Bellamy, right side for a couple of yards up to the 45.
They're going to keep the ball pretty much here on the ground. To keep the drives going. They're going to keep the ball on the ground. I compare that.
So Demetrius Bellamy. It's been Bellamy, Robert Williams.
Let's see what we got here. Bellamy up to his left.
3 wide receivers at the top of the formation. Moffitt's going to hand it off once again. Bellamy gets struck at the 45 and he goes down.
Captain, that was a hard hit. That's letting you know that Deerfield defense has not given up. They understand that, hey, we're still in the critical point. There's still a lot of time. We just need to get the ball back to our offense.
Senior Johnson Thomas making his presence felt. Stoning Bellamy at the line of scrimmage, so 3rd and 8 at the 45. 5:40. Clock continues to run. 12-7. Ely with the ball and the advantage, up by 5.
And the matchup between McNeil and Givens has appeared to be where it's been almost a back and forth thing to where this is the matchup that they want to see the receiver against their lockdown corners and see what can happen.
Ely wants to talk it over, and that is their last timeout as they burn 2 down around the goal line earlier in the 3rd quarter. They got no points out of that possession after they went for it on 4th down, and Moffitt was sacked, and Deerfield Beach took over on downs, but they took one timeout to decide to go for it, and then they took a second timeout, Tony, after Deerfield.
To explain what you want to go for it again.
They tried to lure Deerfield offsides. They burned 2 timeouts on one possession, essentially the same play.
And a coach tends to tell you, okay, now listen, I'm going to send you out here with 2 plays. If this doesn't go right, let's go with that.
Right.
But I'm not going to call a timeout to bring you back off the field to change another play, and then you come away with nothing.
All right, so 5:24.
Come on now, let's get behind your Bucks. Let's get behind them.
3rd and 8 at the 45-yard line. Another 1st down here.
Here we go.
Ely could continue to run some clock. Moffitt once again in the shotgun, and he's going to throw it. Under pressure, throws it, and he's got a receiver,
nice.
Geddes, across the middle. Geddes has the 1st down, and he is inside the 30 to the 20. Inside the 10-yard line. He's dropped at the 9-yard line. Huge play for Ely. It was Moffitt to Geddes.
And it came at a critical point. Now, and as I told you, he was that playmaker all along that they've been trying to get the ball to, being that their star receiver is out for 6 weeks. And they got the ball to him when they needed to. They figured out, they sent him to the other side, Cap, to try to take advantage of the other side of the corners because McNeil had been holding them down pretty much, been playing them pretty tough the whole game.
Some Deerfield Beach fans looking very discouraged here at the home stadium. Big throw and catch by Ely, and you mentioned Thurl Gossier. 6'7", 210. UM is recruiting him heavily amongst some other schools. Apparently he was suspended and will miss
Six ball games.
6 ball games, including tonight's contest. But Thomas Geddes has stepped up for Ely. Dropped a couple early, but not there. And that might have been the play that seals it for the Tigers, as they're going to have it. 1st and goal, just inside the 10.
Yep. 1st and goal.
1st and goal. 5:10 to go, 4th quarter. Ely's band's enjoying it.
Ely's fans, even despite the rain, they're staying to see the outcome of this game here.
Little sprinkle here. For the most part, we've avoided the raindrops most of the night. Just started about 10 minutes ago.
Bring in the big package of Forrest and Williams.
Moffitt under center. He's going to throw it on 1st down, and he's got
in and out of the hand of Forrest, who was
in the flat, and he is dropped. So they tried to go for the score there
early
on the throw, and a little surprising there.
A little behind. The ball was thrown a little bit behind Forrest, costing him to turn around. And you got to figure, you're not dealing with the receiver. You're dealing with the running back. And normally, we as running backs, Cap, we don't have the best of hands. So you got to make sure you put that, especially when we're running the flats, you got to put that in a nice spot.
Yeah, throw was kind of behind him, but the clock stops at 4:55.
Exactly.
All right, handoff here up the middle. Looks like Bellamy.
Bring in the slasher.
He's going to take it into around the 8-yard line. Demetrius Bellamy. And clock moves. 4:42. So it'll be 3rd and goal.
So now you got a combination of Bellamy and Williams.
So we'll see what they do. We know the Tigers' kicking situation. It's not a good one.
Suspect.
So is this 2 plays to get 7 yards?
2 plays, Cap. This is the way I came up.
Bellamy pushes inside the 5.
The way I came up playing neighborhood football is for what we call for the hard. And Ely's in that situation where they got to go all 4 downs. They're not going to bring a special teams on. Kicker might as well sit back. We're going to go for it. We have no other choice.
Well, even if they decide to kick it, it'd still be a 1-score game, essentially. So I think the right move is to go for it. If you don't get it, you're backing up Deerfield Beach inside their own 5, and they'd have 3 minutes. I think they only got 1 timeout left.
Yeah.
So
Deerfield only has 1 timeout. Ely has none.
All right, they're going to throw it on 4th down, and we have whistles.
Oh. We got.
It's like offsides.
False
start, excuse me, on Ely.
The mistake.
That'll push them back.
The mistake.
So that pushes them all the way back to the 10-yard line. So it'll be 4th and goal from the 10.
So
now what do?
They go for it, Cap. They still go for it.
They're bringing in some new personnel.
I think they've given up confidence in their kicking game and decided if we're going to play this game, we're going to try to win it. We got to try to win it with our offensive unit.
Well, they've missed 2 extra points. That's how we got the 12 points on the scoreboard. 12-7. 4 wide receivers for Moffitt. One goes in motion coming across, and Moffitt's going to throw it across the middle. He's got a receiver.
Oh, incomplete.
So Deerfield will take over with 90 yards to go in 3:05. Can they do it?
3:05 left in the game.
Now, if I'm the offensive coordinator in this situation, Coach Lewis, I've brought my troops to it, and I'm saying, okay, the defense is going to give us the ball back. And in this point, guys, we got to win this ball game. Defense have helped us out long enough. Now we got to answer to the call. And what I mean by answer, we got to sustain a drive without mistakes. No mistakes, and guarantee you they can continue to drive it. That's the only thing that stopped them. They have stopped themselves in this series of events.
Cortez Grace, the sophomore quarterback, chance to play hero here. A couple of interceptions on the evening. But they've been able to move. It's been able to move the team, but like I said, those mistakes, Tony, whether it be a penalty or a turnover. So Grace, handoff on 1st down, and they get nothing on 1st down. Ely was ready for it. And it looks like Giovante Evans was swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He actually gets pushed back a yard. 2nd and 11. So at some point, you got to get a big play here, Tony.
at some point, like I said, now you got to go out of what your game plan is. Now you got to throw the ball downfield because you can't continue to run because the clock is not on your side here.
2 wide receivers. And they're going to pitch it. It's a toss sweep. Wide receivers setting up the block for Evans. And Evans gets struck down hard at the 16-yard line. Gain of about
Clock is still running.
7.
Time is not on the side because the clock didn't stop because it didn't get out of bounds. So they got to continue to call plays and get plays in quick here.
Got to move. 2:06 and counting. Trailing by 5.
Got to get. Cortez got to understand the clock is not on the side. He's got to hurry up. Wasting too much time in this situation.
They're going to keep it on the ground again. And
at what point?
They got the first down, which is what they wanted to do. Now they got to put it in the air. They had to get the first down. It was 3rd and about 3. They got 4 with Evans on the ground.
Get them ready, coach. You got to get them ready. You got to give them a place so that way they're ready to go. Because once that ball gets placed, timeout.
Timeout Deerfield. And I believe that's their last timeout. Well, they used at least one previously. Ely is out of timeouts. We know that.
Correct. So they can't. They have no control over the ball game.
They wouldn't want. They would not want to stop the clock right now.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm quite sure. Coach is probably giving them. Coach Lewis, offensive coordinator, is probably giving them a couple scenarios that can play out right now. If you're going to try to keep the ball moving, Cortez is probably not going to run to the sideline as much on this. He's probably going to give him about 2 plays to go with. He's going to give him 2 plays to go with.
They got to go 77 yards.
Yeah. 77.
And 147.
And that's a lot of time when you're talking about 77 yards. But it depends on what type of offense you have now. This offense is not that spread where I can make that happen. It's more of a wing T. And you're not used to passing in this type of offense.
Well, we'll see what Deerfield Beach and Allen Jackson come up with here.
Now we got number 1 lined up. Remember, Antonio is lined up here at the receiver, at the tight end spot at the top of the field. Watch how he releases out of there. What I told you.
He's going to throw it, and
come on. There you go. What did I tell you, Cap?
They get Antonio Cartagena, and he gets the ball all the way past the 45 up to the 47-yard line.
47-yard line.
But now they got to hurry up. They got to have the next play in.
Good patience by Grace there to find him.
And Cap, I saw him coming in at that tight end spot, and I know if you bring that little guy in tight end, that means you got a special play in there for him.
He's been their big play man in the passing game. Haven't gotten much through the air. Grace is going to unload deep right side, and it is
comes down with it, Cap. He comes down with it.
Caught at the 27-yard line.
He comes down with it. Change move.
Simeon Brown.
Cap. Now they got to be ready to go. They got to be ready to go here. They got to have the play already called. He's got to be ready to go. Cortez got to have at least 2 plays. I would have been there, gave him 2 plays. This is what you do on this one. This is what you do on the next one. And that way we don't come to the sideline. As soon as the ball is in place, we're able to roll. We're able to go.
Joe Curtis, our clock operator, puts it in motion at 1:14 at the 27-yard line. They'll pitch it to Evans, and
picks up about
8 yards at the 21. Close to a first down, but we have a player down. Evans is shaken up once again. 101.
About 7 yards.
2nd and 2 at the 21.
But now I'm gonna tell you, it was able to stop the clock.
Yes.
It was able to stop the clock. So, able to stop the clock. Guys get on the field. So I mean, when you look at it, I didn't need a timeout.
Well, break for Deerfield there.
Yeah, great break. Now they got to come back out. They got to be ready to go. Now,
the referee's
asking for them. You don't need them to call. Let's go. The clock is starting.
That's it. They're going to run the
clock.
clock.
They got to roll the clock. Now, you got to have those plays called in.
55 seconds. I don't know if Deerfield realizes it.
Yeah, the clock is. They realize it. That's why they're trying to hurry up. They got to hurry up and get this out of there, Cap. If not.
Lost about 16 seconds. Grace is going to throw it right side.
Right
got
there.
A receiver.
No.
Short, and it is batted away.
Okay, we'll stop at least it stops the clock. Stops the clock at this point.
37 seconds left.
Now in this drive, Cortez has looked nice. He's made great decisions.
A little bit earlier. Had him open.
Had Antonio Cartagena in the corner of the end zone. And just left it a little short. So 3rd and 2 at the 21-yard line with 37 seconds to go. The Bucks from Deerfield Beach got to get in the end zone.
This is what you call exciting football. This is why you come to these type of games.
Grace under center. 2 wide receivers to his left,
In the
one to
flash,
his
you got
right.
your running back.
Grace.
Oh, right now. Come on. First down.
First down and more at the 10-yard line. Simeon Brown.
Got a clock here, Captain. You got a clock here.
Clock will stop.
Oh, they had one timeout left. Captain, they had one timeout left. Coach Jackson just called a timeout, so they did have.
So they had one left. So now they're out of timeouts. The clock would have stopped anyway because of the first down.
But it would have, once it's reset, we roll it. But now, you give them those plays and you call those guys and you let them know, hey, listen, if you want to win the ball game, if you want to win this ball game, the offensive line, everybody got to take care of their position. They got to take care of their responsibility. Offensive line, you got to hold your guy. You can't let nobody come free.
It'll be decided in the next 29 seconds. Deerfield Beach
This is
with
exciting.
a comeback victory, or will Ely's defense hold them off?
This is exciting. This is why rivalry games are so important, because you have this type of matchup. And you got a matchup of Deerfield and Ely, and it's coming down. This game is pretty much coming down to the next 29 seconds. This is what you come to this type of football game to see.
Fans are on their feet on both sides.
Both sides, Cap. Both sides.
A lot of the fans have
Ely
moved.
band is rocking
A lot of the fans have moved down to the west side of the stadium.
to see what's going to happen within the next 29 seconds.
First and goal at the 9-yard line for Deerfield Beach. 2 set back.
They spread them out.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the bottom of the formation. The throw.
And it's good.
Touchdown! Oh! It is ruled incomplete.
Antonio, Kevin, he's got to hold on there.
Antonio Cartagena went up and got it using his leaping ability. They list him at 5'9", but he went up and got that one.
But I'm going to tell you now, what I'm noticing here, Cortez, a young guy, in this critical situation, looks great.
Well, they started this drive with just under 3 minutes to go at their own 10-yard line. They're at their Ely 9-yard line. 24 seconds remain. No timeouts remaining. Need a touchdown.
They're going back to him, Cap. They're going back to him.
Grace is going to throw. Short side. Got a receiver.
It's on the 1, Cap. He got that on the 1. Now we got a clock. We got a clock this.
Raderick Gervin. And they mark him down at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line, Cap. Come on. That's
Derek
clock.
Gervin.
Clock.
They try to
Wow.
clock the ball with 10 seconds to
They almost
go.
caught the Ely guy coming on. And that would have been, ooh.
So they stop the clock with 10 seconds to go. They spike it.
This is exciting. You can see it. There's no one sitting down in this stadium, Cap. No one is sitting down on both sides.
Knocking on the door, ready to break it in.
High school football
Now-
at its finest, Tony.
When you look at both of these two teams, and you put them in this situation, both teams, technically, the success rate can happen for Deerfield.
This might be the last play of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd have time to
They
get
won't have time to get another one.
and
They
reset.
in a wishbone formation here, Cap. They've changed their formation up.
Grace under center. First time we've seen this formation. The give up the middle. Flags down. No play.
We got flags down.
Deerfield went
Now
in a different
8
formation.
seconds.
They went in a different formation.
First time we've seen that
But
all
you gotta, now Ben, that was a flag. Do you put those 2 seconds back on the clock though? Because 2 seconds ran off on the clock here. They
Well, I
gotta
think-
put those 2 seconds back on the clock.
Well, I think
They gotta, somebody better make, if I'm a coach, I'm paying attention to that. Those 2 seconds could be critical.
I think this is going to be the last play of the game. Same formation, wishbone set.
Let's get behind your Bucks right here, right now.
Oh, wait a
flag.
minute, what is this?
Flag.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
But there's a flag down on the side.
Do you call?
Offside.
Oh, against Ely! Touchdown there!
It's a touchdown.
That should be it.
We'll see, we'll get the official calling here. Cortez Grace with the quarterback keeper.
But now,
Cortez with the keeper.
With the play in. What we got? Clock. I think you got to put some more time on the.
7 seconds.
7 seconds
8
back.
seconds.
8 seconds back on the clock. I figured you
They'll put a couple of ticks back
back
on the clock. Tony mentioned that a moment ago.
Hold on.
Hold on. Let's get the clock right. Now this is critical. Now that offensive line's got to understand they got to surge. They got to get a surge here. If they want to win, they got to get a surge here. You cannot let no penetration come through. And I'm quite sure Ely's going to have all 11 in the box.
Oh, that's a certainty. They're going to have all 11 at the line, it seems like. They're going to.
But now, you have all 11 and somebody sneak out. That can kill you too because Cortez can't get out and scramble. But I don't see him bringing this off the line of scrimmage. The weak spot is to his left. And what I just said, the weak spot is to his left, Cap. And that's a touchdown, Cap. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown, Cap.
That is a touchdown. And they're celebrating here at Butler Stadium.
Celebrating here. Now, that's what those points that you gave up earlier, it's critical because the game 4 seconds left on this clock.
And the players are rejoicing. The coaches are out high-fiving. And Cortez Grace.
Yeah, quarterback sneak. Cortez looked excellent in that drive. And I said that earlier. The young guy, when the pressure was on, answered for the Deerfield bus. Now, all those interceptions that he threw early in that game is thrown out the window. People are not thinking about that. Only thing they're thinking about now that he snuck that quarterback sneak in there for the game.
The backup quarterback comes through for Deerfield. They'll set up for the extra point to make it a 2-point game with only 4 seconds to go.
And
Sosa's kick is good.
This kick is good, Cap.
And it's 14-12 with 4 ticks remaining. And Deerfield Beach looks like they're going to get this win over rival Ely.
Now you kick a squib. Now you do a squib, and you get out of here with the win. You do a squib. Tell your guy to do a quick squib. Get out of here with the win, and you call the game.
What a drive. They go 90 yards in less than 3 minutes. Cortez Grace, the sophomore QB, threw 2 costly picks earlier in the game. But he comes through with the quarterback keeper at the 1-yard line.
Here we go.
And
this is a ball game.
Here we go.
Deerfield, Tony mentioned,
you got to keep everything in front of you, Cap.
Well,
here we go now. You going to pooch or you going to squib? Or you keep it on the ground? Which one?
I think you're gonna squib kick it.
Squib kick it?
I think you're gonna squib kick it and stay in your lanes of your Deerfield Beach.
If he can kick that and where it land right there where that X,
yeah,
it's a ball game. It's over.
Yeah, just
because there's no one in that area.
Little pop fly here. Ely looks a little bit. They're set up for a standard return, and I don't think that's not what they're going to get.
How long was that drive?
They're not going to.
90 yards.
90 yards on that drive.
Here we go. Well, they do kick it away. Sosa with a strong leg kicks into the back of the end zone.
I mean, either way, you only got 4 seconds. I mean, you're playing prevent defense now anyway.
Right.
You're playing prevent defense now anyway. You keep everything in front of you. You put 3. You can put 3 rushers up and everybody else back. And if something happened out of that, then buddy, somebody got to answer.
Well, Sosa's got a strong leg, and they said, "Hey, kick it away," and he did. They put him at the 20. They got to go 80 yards outside of a defensive penalty. We know Ely doesn't have a kicking game, so that won't come into play. Other than a miracle Hail Mary.
And you say, okay, hey, I know who I'm going to double cover in this. Well, I'm going to make sure that he does not get the ball. And that's Gad Thomas. You don't want him. You just play the prevent defense. Everybody keep everything in front of him. Period.
Well, they got the ball at the 20.
I wouldn't even rush that many.
No,
I back out of it.
They're rushing 5, and they have the 2 safeties at midfield.
Right there.
He's going to throw it right side.
Interception. The game falls over.
And intercepted by McNeil.
Oh, he pissed it off, but this game is still alive.
And now
get down, son. Get down and get the game out of here. Get down.
Deerfield Beach is going to win this one over Ely. They come from behind and win it 14-12. They celebrate at midfield. 14-12 is our final. And Cortez Grace is the hero. The sophomore backup quarterback engineers a 90-yard drive in less than 3 minutes. He gets the quarterback keeper with under 5 seconds to go, and that was the game winner for the Deerfield Beach Bucks.
For a young guy, Cap, that struggled earlier in the game, and was able to sustain a 90-yard drive when it counted, stayed positive, kept his composure, and took his team down and capped it off when he takes it in for the winning score.
Deerfield Beach improves to 2-1. They rebound after a loss last week against Dillard as this neighborhood rivalry, Deerfield and Ely, shaking hands at midfield. Very good game despite all the penalties, close to 20 penalties, various turnovers, squandered chances, and if you're Ely, you're really going to shake your head at this one and go, man, we had this one won, and they're going to fall to 0-2 on the campaign. But Deerfield Beach, with a late touchdown drive, wins it 14-12. And we'll see where these two teams, still very young at key positions, see how they progress throughout the course of this season. Still a lot of football to be played, a lot of district games to be played. This was a non-district game, but certainly a rivalry game, as we touched on at many points during our broadcast.
And like I said, when you look at this, Deerfield never gave up. These guys never gave up when it comes to knowing that they can win this ball game, and that's what happened. So they were able to win it, and hey, you see what happens.
Player of the game, Tony, I think we all be in agreement.
Oh, yeah.
Cortez Grace, just off the last drive.
Off that last drive, taking it back 90 yards. I seen that happen against Deerfield on a 90-yard drive with Northwestern, but now I see Deerfield understands how to themselves to sustain a 90-yard drive and minimize the mistakes.
So Deerfield's going to wins it 14-12, and call this a film game.
MVP.
Oh, of course.
Film game on both sides, and a learning tool for both teams here. Like I said, this is going to be interesting to watch these teams moving forward here. Your final thoughts here as we wrap it up from Butler Stadium, a Deerfield win.
I mean, I seen guys that was willing to stay the course. Guys understood at a critical point in the game that we can't make mistakes. We got to sustain the drive. We want to win. Offense understood that defense helped them and that they had to sustain that 90-yard drive and cap it off at the end.
For our entire crew, all along the South Florida Sports Network, we thank you for joining us this Friday evening. SFSN.com. The game of the week brought to you by Audible Sports. For our entire crew, for the Tuxedo Man, Tony Sands, I'm Curtis Stevenson. We say good night from Deerfield Beach. The Bucks are winners, 14-12 in dramatic fashion. Have a great night, everybody.
I need Demetrius Bellamy over to the 50-yard line. Congratulations, gentlemen, on the McDougal Scholarship Award. $1,000.